All right. In this video, I'll give you my thoughts about what you consume in terms of social media. Really, indirectly or directly, it will impact you, and especially in the long run. And why I'm bringing this up is in my WhatsApp groups, I have multiple groups, and I have people that I've known for quite some time. So there are people who have taken my services, and there are people who cannot afford my services, but who have been my well-wishers, and I've given them, guidance whenever required. So there is this particular young man who cannot afford my services, but he's a good lad. He's a good lad, and whenever required, I've always told him, "See, listen, I read this comment, or I saw what you posted. I offer him corrections. And then, I go about my own life and you get busy. So what happened is lately, after quite some time, I once again, was just browsing through the WhatsApp groups. And then I saw, one of these groups where plenty of conversations were going on. And lo and behold, I remembered, this young man, and I was reading through what he was writing, what he was sharing. And to my surprise, understand that I've been observing this young man maybe for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. So I noticed a pattern in the way he was talking. I noticed his opinions. I noticed his stance, where once upon a time he was very humble, and where he was not too sure, or where he was asking questions. Now he was having very strong opinions on politics, very strong opinions on the economy, very strong opinions on, a lot of other factors. And he was also slightly argumentative and sarcastic. I kind of noticed all this. I was just browsing, and, because I care about the guy, I kept quiet. I didn't publicly say anything. I thought to myself, let me observe another, week or so. And then during the week or so, whenever I was free, I was just checking, and I noticed the same pattern. So it was not a one-off thing. Finally, I told him, I sent him a private message, and I told him, I want to talk to you, chat with you whenever you're free. And he was, as usual, very humble with me. He was not trying anything funny, and he was like, yes, sir, whenever you're free. So I asked him how's life, and I asked him how was, I'd made his resume for free. I didn't charge him money. I gave him guidance in terms of interview, this thing. He even got a job, and young chap. He is not earning much. And then I just asked him, so what has been going on? I kind of reflected on, asked him about his friends, his friend circle, people that he was hanging around with, the girlfriend. He never had a girlfriend. Now he had a girlfriend. And then out of the blue, I just told him, okay, do me a favor. Go to your YouTube channel, which he normally watches. He's very much on YouTube. He doesn't have Facebook, doesn't have any other thing. So I told him, can you share with me your browser, kind of history, what have you watched the last week? Okay, can you share screen share with me? I said, if you don't mind. He said, no, sir, anything for you. I know you'll always give me something worthwhile. And I kind of noticed that in his feed, he was watching all, news articles supporting a particular political party. There was a pattern. He was watching videos of graphic disasters and gloom and doom and conspiracy theories. And I was keeping on going on. And yes, there were a couple of podcasts which was self-improvement and all that. But that were more of being a rebel. Those were more of break off from society, do your own thing. So I noticed all this, and then I told him, are these the same videos which you were subscribed to 4-5 years ago? He said, no, sir, I unsubscribed to many of them. I watched your channel, you said, to evolve and grow. Before, I used to listen to only podcasts, I used to listen to only book reviews, I used to listen to only improvement, diet. Now I've changed all that. I want to be, forefront of political discussions and all, and it helps me, engage with people. So I kept quiet and I observed all this. And finally, after looking at all this, I gave him my analysis. Okay. And my analysis was that the content that he was watching was being reflected on him, on his behavior online. And I kind of reminded him that before you were always asking questions, wanting to learn, you always wanted to get better, and you are always a person who would absorb like a sponge. But now you have become over the period of 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. You become a person who has very strong opinions, who says, no, this is right, that is wrong, this political party is good, that political party is good, and conspiracy theory. You become more of a rebel. Okay. And he said, sir, but you told me to be strong and all that. I reminded him, you're in your 20s. You are arguing and debating with people in their 50s and 60s, people who are rich, successful, some of them multimillionaires, whatever. They don't like to reveal their identity, but you're talking to those people. He says, sir, but I do not know who's rich, who's poor. Yeah, exactly. You do not know. But I said, forget about them. Focus on you. You need to really evaluate this political news and political drama. Is it contributing to your career? He said, no. So, but it helps in good talk, where people go out, a couple of drinks, or they're sitting around and smoking. And I said, that does not contribute to your career. Your main focus should be your career. Your main focus should be your self-improvement. Okay. And second one is, I told him that I'm not asking you to start bombarding yourself with podcasts and self-improvement book reviews. You can read 10,000 books and 10,000 reviews and podcasts, and if you don't apply a single thing, it doesn't make any sense. Like even me, I've stopped reading. Before I used to read one book a day, or I used to push myself to read one book within 3, 4 days, and keep reading. It was like a numbers game. It's no point. You have to apply. So what I suggested to him was, I gave him a list of channels that I felt would help him grow in terms of a person for his personality. It's not like these channels are standard for everyone. This is what I felt for his personality. And I also gave him a couple of corrective measures in terms of his behavior. And I told him, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to talk like this, chat like this, interact with these individuals. And, gave him a corrective measure. And he was very grateful for it. Okay. And I gave him a couple of assignments as well. So what I want to leave you through this video is, I think you need to do a little bit of stock taking or self-evaluation. Where were you before? Where are you today? What you used to listen to before? What do you listen to now? In fact, go through your YouTube history. Check for the past week, what are you listening to, and go to an Excel sheet and put categories. Okay. If you're just listening to music, ignore that. Okay. But then see, what are you listening to? I listen to science, education, self-improvement, politics, news. And remember, just because you listen to 20 podcasts per day doesn't mean you are an intellect. It just gives you information. It's like reading the Wikipedia. It just makes you knowledgeable, but it doesn't help you improve. I've always told you, knowledge is not power, application of knowledge. But where bad habits are concerned, it can affect your personality. You can listen to people who have very strong personalities, who are argumentative, who let success get to their heads. And the worst part is having a young man who's very sure of himself. Oh, you do not know, what the hell do you know? And they speak to adults with total disrespect and disdain. What the hell do you know? Like, there are people, youngsters who are even 14 sometimes, or 12. Hey, look at the ugly face, man. What the hell are you talking about? 12, 13-year-olds. And then you have people whose career is, not even started, and they lecture you about life and all that. yeah, it sounds empowering. It sounds great that, yeah, I've read so many books and I'm giving knowledge from Jack Ma and Elon Musk. I always give them what my mentor said. 1 gram of practical knowledge is more has more impact and weight than 10 kilograms of theory. Okay, so always remember that. Anyway, I just want to tell you through this video is please be aware of what you're listening to, who you're interacting with, who are the people you are with. Evaluate yourself. And if you do not know how, maybe I can create a separate video on how to evaluate yourself. But be aware, because you'll never know if you're going the wrong direction. And it's better you be aware before it's too late. Okay? This young man, what I like about him is whenever I correct him, he takes it to heart, and I can actually see the improvement. So I hope you too just evaluate what are you watching, what are you reading, take the sum total, put it on an Excel sheet. The numbers will not lie. Where do you spend the maximum time, effort, energy, with whom, and where? Because that will impact your head, and that will impact your behavior, and that will impact how you react to the world. Act or react. Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.